never seen a league so exciting and tough and fast. It simply must be discussed on an equally exciting and tough podcast. What's it called? Monday Night Lights. Yeah. Monday Night Lights. Monday Night Lights. What's been going down on the ice? Who are the leaders? Who are the failures? The Ducks, the Tigers, the Nordiques, the Whalers, the Seals, the Americans, the North Stars. Who's gonna stall? Who will go far and earn the keg? Who's gonna earn the keg? We'll find out in time. Give us a holler on the whoop line.
Wow, what a goal.
And the Monday Night Lights podcast is back. Brian Piercy, along with Pistol Pete, Dylan, and Andrew Hetes. How you boys doing today?
Doing fantastic, Brian.
I'm salt on a fucking bagel, but yeah, I'm doing good.
Salt on a bagel. That's good. So as always, like I said, give us a call on the Whoop line, 714-75-WHOOP. Email the show, podcast at mnlhl.com. And subscribe and follow on Twitch, just like Mr. Pistol Pete over here does. I think he's 3 or 4 months in.
3 months. 4th
Yeah.
on the 17th.
Yeah, so things like that can help us, get extra beer for All-Star games, do other things as well. So just keep it up. So
Some extra salt for Hetes' bagel.
Oh, I need to put a shout out to anybody that's listening. I need a player or two. 11:15 at Troy in a D League. I'm playing 10D. Apparently, we have 7 or 8 guys tonight. So if we get an extra player or two, that'd help out the boys. Dylan would come out, but he didn't bring his player gear with him. I didn't inform Peter Piercy. Piercy's got to get the old man sleep
I
in.
live right
So
behind the arena pretty much. So.
oh well, then why don't you come out and play?
I don't know. We'll see.
We need a guy. And apparently we're gonna win if we can field 7, 8, 9
Oh, if
guys.
I was out there, we're good to go.
Yeah. Anyway, so point is, just let me know if anyone's interested before message on Twitch if you're following, or just text me or put it in Slack.
Take it away from my Netflix time.
Yeah.
I'm seeing Ty in the chat. I'm sure he wants to come out and play with.
Health and wellness, baby. Where's Whoop?
Yeah,
Yeah, where's that whoop-de-whoop at?
He's still the smoke off those skates from yesterday. Still trying to cool him down.
Where's your whoop-de-whoop? What the heck is that?
He's the best GM ever. Jerry Jones right there, baby. Jerry Jones.
He's not the best GM ever.
Okay,
Anyways, we're
Robert
getting sidetracked. Go ahead,
Robert
take it
Kraft.
away, Piercy. Take it away.
So let's get down to it. We don't really have many news or rumors real quick, but just a reminder, I don't know if anybody saw it in Slack. Shaune's 30th birthday is coming up. He is having a party. Don't want to give away the details on Twitch or on the podcast, but just go back to Slack, see the details. I think it's January 25th if you're interested. I'm sure someone like a Dylan will be going out.
Oh, I'm there. I'm there, baby.
Yeah,
Me, it might be past my bedtime, but
I saw the details, and just an FYI, maybe North Stars may want to stay away from it, especially anybody not named Whoop Auto, just for fear of bodily harm.
yeah, that's not a bad point there. As well, I think there was some talk about possibly a UFC event this coming weekend. Conor McGregor versus the Cowboy Cerrone. I think Dylan was suggesting maybe some kind of event.
You're pointing to the wrong guy.
Yep.
You said UFC, and I was thinking.
We just gotta have Troy get his family fucking out the house, and we're good to go, boys.
When you said UFC, I thought you were talking about like people Monday Night Light fighting. I thought you were like setting it up. Like, here we go, Cherry Pecora versus
And
Pete.
getting Troy's family at the house. Are you saying we're commandeering Troy's house for this?
Yep. Oh, we got a pool table. We got everything going, dude.
Wait, you don't want to freeze over Skillman's his pool and have an ice rink UFC event at Skillman's place.
I'm cool with wherever. As long as the fights are there, it's a good time. Hey, I'm there. But just waiting to hear from Troy, and fucking everyone's invited.
Maybe let's wait for Troy first. Let's see what the details are on that.
You can't exclude anybody. Everybody's invited.
So Troy lives in the city of Troy. I'm sure everybody can find his house. Just go over there Saturday. He'll be cool with it. It is all good.
Is Troy in Troy or Troy in Grosse Pointe?
He's in Troy. Looks like Troy is telling his wife at 8:30 on Saturday that she's gonna have to leave. So I think we'll be good there.
Go you, Troy. Go you.
real quick, we're not going to spend a lot of time on this one, but we do have the pick'em standings as well. Currently, Dylan is in the lead, I think, by about 3 points. I was showing Troy originally in the lead, but I had a calculation. I think I pressed a button and I missed one of his weeks adding in. So Troy's still in the lead, or Dylan's in the lead, followed by Troy in second place. If you want to see those complete standings, go to pick'em.mnlhl.com. Dylan, are you going to be able to hold off and have Troy not get you?
Oh, I'm pulling it off, baby. I'm taking it serious, taking all day, calling all the GMs, seeing who's in, who's out, who's feeling bad. So
Picking the North Stars the rest of the way, you're saying.
yesterday, definitely did.
Yeah.
Definitely did yesterday. And then switched up last minute with the Nordiques and
The Whalers.
the Whalers, yep. So we're good to go.
Yeah, so that was a good change by you. Remember, when you're looking at those standings, lowest week gets knocked out. So if you have a 0, it's almost a positive for your score. If you're getting 2s, 3s every week, so you're actually going to drop in your total. So that could help. It could hurt. I think Dylan did have at least one bad week. I'm sure everybody's probably come at least a 1 or a 0. So those standings kind of aren't totally in place. But let's move on kind of to our main events. To the results of the games. Our first matchup of the week was the Mighty Ducks versus the Golden Seals. The Golden Seals actually won this one by a score of 2-3. Dylan, since you were the goalie in this game, let's turn it over to you and kind of get your thoughts and review initially on this game.
So the game started off, back and forth, real equal. Each team was getting chances. I believe we went up 1-0. Yeah, 1-0 at the end of the first. They had a chance with like 2 seconds left. Binner goes back door, floats. Sugar makes a fucking perfect pass. I dived the leg out, stoned him cold. So go into the second period, right? Turtle comes in, gets a great shot, deflects in, 1-1. And then we went up 2-1, and then fucking Troy got a lucky ass goal again.
Do you remember how that goal happened?
Oh yeah, he fucking faked an injury in the corner, right?
I was gonna say,
hobbling.
can I tell this?
Oh, go for it.
Yeah, because I was actually watching at that point, so it was pretty funny.
It's good. Faking injuries and getting goals.
I believe it was him or someone else chipped it against the boards and tried to go around the defender. During that time, Troy fell, slid into the corner, and as the puck came back, the Seals were trying to break it out and rush back. Troy, he's pretty slow to get up. He's taking his time getting back. Obviously not trying to get back on defense. He's just taking his time trying to get out of the zone.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, someone grabs the puck and they just knock it to him. He's barely even out of your zone. Essentially gives him a breakaway for you. He does try to make a move. Like you said, you made the first stop.
Yeah.
Rebound came right back in to finish him. But afterwards, he looked like he thought he was the hero of that game when he was really... I'm just going to say it was kind of a lazy play by him that turned into being lucky. But to his credit,
Very smart, though. Very smart.
He did finish. He did finish the play, so you got to give him some credit
rule,
there.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't that the Proctor rule right there? You don't come all the way back to support the D. You just hang out near that offensive zone, wait for that puck, that magic to happen.
Fake that injury. But no.
Do what you got to do.
Kudos to him, man. I went down to the butterfly. He went 5-hole, hits me right there. Instead of fucking just jumping down on it, thought he was going to whack at it, so I just stood like this. Grabs it. Slowly fucking goes that way and just puts it in. It's like, you cocksucker. You cocksucker. Of all people, I don't give a fuck who scores on me on that team, but him,
I thought I was your favorite.
yeah, you're right up there. You're right up there.
Yeah, following that, I believe Alan Z, he had the winning goal for you guys on kind of a snipe from the left side.
I think it was like 3 minutes left. So Troy ends up scoring with 6 minutes left. I'm like, fuck, we're going to the overtime. Here we go. And then Alan Z just comes down the side, fires it, rips it right in between the goalie right underneath here. Perfect shot.
On Ryan
Bingo.
Z.
Yeah, Ryan
Alan,
Z.
right? Yeah, he's been.
He played great.
Alan Z's been a real good surprise. I mean, watching him for the past couple of years, especially with WBW too. I mean, his game has really improved a lot, and it's just showing like this year. I mean, I don't know. I haven't looked at his stat line, but I mean, when you play against him, I mean, you notice him out there. He's always hustling, churning those legs.
Yeah.
Alan Z's been one of those guys to me where he's always had a super good shot. He's always been fast. He's always been athletic. So.
Very unselfish, too. Very unselfish for him to go to D like that.
I'm not 100% sure if just defense suits his game better or if he's improved in other ways. But he's been, like last year for the Seals, going into the preseason, I thought he was kind of like the sleeper that was going to be the breakout player. Not to say that he had a bad season, but he wasn't quite the breakout player I saw. But on defense, he's a good enough skater where he can get around. People aren't going to abuse him back there. Plus, he's got a good slap shot, and he's got a hell of a wrist shot as well.
Yep.
And I do got to talk about Pfister's goal. This was one of the prettiest goals I've ever fucking seen. Danced around about 5 guys, toe pulled, did a fucking spinorama, comes in, he's about a foot away from the goalie, toe pull right around him, backhand, boom, in. It was just nasty.
I thought he levitated at one point too. I could have swore he levitated.
He had the Jedi Force. Right
I know. I thought I saw the light of God coming down on him too, and he like pulled him up a little.
That was fucking nasty.
That sounds about right, though. For that, par for the course for the Seals. Pfister gets a goal, little ZNZ crime. You guys, Grind went out in the third late and earned some points. That's kind of how the Seals have been playing lately. And you know what they say when even if you didn't play your best game, like the best teams find ways to win, even if they don't play their best game.
It was disappointing though to see the Ducks. So I mean, with the Ducks, I mean, one of the Ducks are like fighting for their lives here, and it's just disappointing to see them not coming out with any type of intensity. I mean, I was watching that game from the scorekeeper's box, yelling at Ty about music he wants to play, and they just looked slow. I mean, just they weren't. There's no sense of urgency. I mean, they're down. They got 3 or 4 games left in the season. They're 3. They're what are they? They're 3 points ahead, or 3 points behind
the Deeks.
The Deeks.
Yeah.
They got a chance to pull ahead, and no offense, but the Seals lately have been, like you haven't had your best game. Past 3 or 4 games, you really haven't had your best games. Yeah. So there was an opportunity there to kind of exploit that from the week before, right? Mm-hmm. Nope, no shots going to corners, no shots trying to, pick those corners or putting them right on you. I mean, I think Turtle got a shot, he placed it nicely against you.
Yeah, that
one.
That was deflection. That's their kind of game right there, though.
Right.
Is the one-on-one, get the defenseman, moving back and forth, deflection. But I honestly thought they played very well. The fact is, Sugar's so fucking fast, and they don't have anybody to keep up with him. So Sugar breaks out, and it's just him, and now he's got to wait, 5 seconds for fucking support.
Yeah, it was weird to watch. I agree a lot on the intensity. Sugar, he always has intensity on trying to fly. Besides that, it was just little bursts. I saw Rubel, he kind of does his thing where back at defense, you can only look so intense, but a lot of times he'll try to jump in the play, at least jump up for that pass there. I saw that. I saw a few moments from Turtle here and there on trying to do a couple things.
I thought Turtle played pretty great.
Yeah, but there was a lot of guys, they looked kind of blah out there.
Yeah.
Ben, you saw flashes from him. Actually, Troy, in a lot of ways, was probably one of their harder working guys. Even, he falls on his ass and crashes in the board, but at least he's trying his hardest there to, get to the puck and do something.
He gave a lot of effort, but Ben, he was going balls fucking out. He was even being chippy with Alan Z. He was,
and they need to pick it up because they're not a bad team. I mean, you look at that roster; they have guys that can play. I mean, they got guys that can put the puck in the net. You got somebody like Buster. You can put the puck on his stick. I mean, he's not just shooting at it wildly. He'll snipe that thing on you if you're not paying attention. I mean, they got to get those pucks going. They got to get their legs moving. I mean, you guys, like I said, you guys were ripe for the picking again. I mean, you guys had a good game, but it wasn't the best game you guys have played.
No. I think I was, not to pat myself on the back too much, but I felt really fucking on yesterday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was seeing the puck well for once, and
missed opportunity, really. I mean,
they
could have done more, but they need those points, and, there's not that many games left.
Yeah, and coming up, we'll talk a little bit more about that, those points in the playoff situation.
Well, that's a big thing, too. I think they didn't want to take too many chances, so they didn't get snake bitten by Pfister and Shaune. I think that was kind of like a game plan right there.
Yeah, that's definitely tough. So the next game on our agenda was the Nordiques versus the Whalers. The Whalers won this one. It was 3-1. So since I was part of that game, I'll kind of talk a little bit about it. The first goal was by Serta. To me, controversial goal. I think they would complain about it too. There was kind of a shift where you could have said there was a possible 6-man on the ice. Trent was coming off the ice. Serta jumped on, grabbed the puck, went down. Now, there was plenty of defensemen back, so I wouldn't say, this is the reason the goal was scored. He didn't get a breakaway or anything off of it. But I've seen plays like that called for a 6-man. I've seen them where they're not. I've seen worse. I've seen less. So if it would have been called, it was something that I necessarily wouldn't have been happy about, but you couldn't have really argued with.
A call or no call?
Yeah, they came back down. I'm trying to remember. I can't think off the top of my head. I think it was maybe Kimmel who scored a goal, answered back.
Yeah, that's what Cameron told me.
Yeah, then we got our Peso goal, which get him on the board, baby.
Get that monkey off
That's
your back,
important for you
baby.
guys. That's really important for you guys, especially for next week too.
How many
Gotta
games
get-
are left? 3. Finally scores a goal.
I know.
What was the joke? I think I made the joke that he was envisioning a 9-year-old in net. And that's kind of a joke, but the truth is, I mean, it is mental. I mean, it really is mental out there. When you're not scoring goals, you gotta mentally get yourself together. I mean, it's tough. I mean, sometimes everything you shoot is either going wide on the goalie pads, or just hitting a post and doing nothing,
guessing
fanning
yourself
on a shot, breaking a
constantly.
stick.
Yeah.
I mean, he needs to get the mental part of his game together again.
Confidence.
And the last three games he's played, or the last couple of games he's played, he scored a few goals here and there.
Yeah, because he actually, I believe, he subbed in. Didn't he sub in the first game and score a goal?
Yes.
Did he sub 2 games last
yesterday.
week, right? 2 games, and he scored in both, didn't he?
Yeah, so he
Yeah.
scored, I believe, in his last couple of games, which is nice to see. He's been scoring more for WBW as well, so it's all going in the right trend there. But coming back to our game in that second period after Peso scored, there was a play where I was on the bench for this where the Nordiques, it looked like they thought they scored a goal. It went high top of the net. It looked like, from my angle, it looked like it didn't go in. But the one thing I would say with that is I didn't hear it hit a crossbar. So it makes me wonder if it
Now,
actually...
where's the ref at this point? Is the ref
The
on the
ref
goal
looked like
line?
they had the angle. I know, like I said, from my view, I didn't actually see it go in, but I didn't hear a crossbar, so it made me second guess what it would have
Like
been.
it
if
hit
it
the
would've-
twine or something like
something
that,
like that,
yeah.
and possibly bounced out. I know Turnbull, after the game, he said that he had an angle for it. He saw it hit the crossbar or hit something. He swear it didn't go in the locker room. I don't know why he would lie about that, so I have to take his word on that. But I definitely know why the Nordiques probably wouldn't be super happy about that.
Well,
one.
if
We
the
had-
ref was in a good position, you know
Was
what
he
I
in the
mean?
golden triangle? That's the question. If
Yeah.
the referee was in the golden triangle, then I don't want to hear it.
Hetes is getting spicy right now, just
Oh,
talking
yeah,
about a
he's
non-goal.
simmering over here.
This is a PTSD already. Let's go. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I can
All
understand the
spice.
contract. I can understand the. I can understand
change
that
the
feeling
fact.
for them. But so, overall in the game, who had more possession between you or the Deeks? Because I think the narrative kind of from last week running into this week is that the Deeks ground out a victory finally, and then they're gonna be the ones that were first on the puck, jump in their step, move the puck up ice, and just kind of like play with urgency, unlike kind of the Ducks, right? So I didn't
Right.
know if you guys coming off of
That's
your
actually
bye,
that's another thing. Is I would actually, before we get to the next game, everything I heard about that North Stars Tigers game was a super fast, super like playoff intensity.
Yeah.
I would actually say our game did not feel super fast. I thought we controlled play more than them. I thought it was maybe like a 65-35 thing. I think Pfister sounds like he was sick.
Oh yeah, he was doing the inhaler in the
He
first.
he
fucking
was
game.
he wasn't quite
He
himself
was. He had
as
the
well.
inhaler, dude. Straight up.
It's like the hockey. It's like the guys on the bench, the oxygen tanks.
Uncle Fister wheeling it in for him.
Him and Whoop fucking trade
Call out to
hits.
the uncle. Guy cracks me up in that scorekeeper's box. Shout out to him.
Yeah,
But-
shout out Uncle Fister. We love you, buddy.
But yeah, so I would say Pfister, he wasn't quite his self. Their big thing is, so I think he didn't help. Andy Femme would have been good there because he's got that speed, and
That fucking shot.
Yeah.
That mother.
obviously
oh.
Kimmel put one in, but their
Kimmel's got a good shot too.
their offense just didn't seem there. It seemed like Judge tried to take it coast to coast, double-digit times.
always does.
Which he's a good player and all, but it's not really his game there, and it didn't put a whole lot. I mean, you can score off that, Trent does, but the majority of time, someone going coast to coast where you got your 2-3 guys back, seeing him coming, where he's not just trying to outrace people. That
He needs an outlet. That's what he needs. Judge does that all the time, but he beats everybody. But the last guy or the last move, he just flubs it or doesn't score. He needs to have somebody on his team that knows what he's gonna do. To, like, talk to Judge, backdoor, or I'm here, and it would work fucking perfect.
Well, that chemistry is important, right? I mean, it's been 4 games since the trade. I mean, the chemistry, honestly, I haven't seen enough of the Deeks games, but looking at the standings, the way the points are going and what they're doing, it just doesn't seem like they've kind of clicked yet as a team. So I don't know if they just don't have the right pieces this year. I mean, it's the same thing with the Ducks, right? I mean, you look at that lineup and you say, okay, yeah, you see some weak spots, but you have Cone in net. You got Judge now on the D. You got Cunningham up there. You got Fem. You got Kimmel. You got some decent players out there. You would expect a little bit more out of them. And again, same thing we said with the Ducks earlier. They're fighting for their lives. They're only 3 points ahead. Ducks lose, chance to pull away a little and kind of seal it up. Even a point would do it. One win it doesn't close it out, but even a point puts them in a better position.
It's a lack of communication, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's with even the Seals. We have a lack of communication on that ice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm screaming, yelling, jumping up and down like a retard.
Yeah, we don't.
Yeah, and it looks like
we don't have communication problems on the Stars, do we?
I don't know.
Troy, I'm
I
looking right
actually
at you.
don't know who Push Pop 454 is.
That's
but,
Fister.
That's Uncle Fister or regular Fister?
So it sounds
regular
like he
Fister.
claims the goal that was in question didn't go in. He said it was super soft and it went off the crossbar. So that helps the confusion of was that a goal or was that not. Thank you a lot for clearing that up. One thing I
the
want to go
best,
back
Fister. I
to on
love
the
you, buddy.
Seals game, I do want to give a call out to Pellet. That first goal, he actually took it
How did
coast
I
to
fucking
coast,
forget?
200 feet, grabbed it, took it all the way down and scored. Was a beautiful play, so I just want to give him some credit.
How did I
on that
fucking
one.
forget that, man? Pellet finally gets some monkey off his back, makes fucking 10, 20 great fucking moves, silky hands, weaving in and out, pulls back, goes basically bar fucking down, dude. Oh,
Pellet was an animal for us in our little game.
Pellet, man. Oh, that was
Yeah.
beautiful.
So obviously the Nordiques, the Whalers game was a big game as both these, I think they were within 2 points of us. Obviously the Ducks are losing. We'll go back to those standings coming up in a few minutes, but I think the main event of the evening
The
was
main
actually
event.
the North Stars versus the Tigers, at least coming out of there. North Stars won this game 5-4.
No.
As we've talked about before, when you follow us on Twitch or actually watch us, you earn points. And you can use those points for certain things. So Mr. Jeremy Drager used his points, so essentially making it so Pete gets to go first on explaining
I love
what he
this.
saw
All
in
right.
this game. But then we'll be able to hand it over to Hetes, and he can go as much in
No, let
detail
him,
as
you
he
know,
wants
let him
as well.
simmer.
Well, no,
Let
don't
him
you-
simmer right now.
No. Don't
You
you
know-
have a voicemail that you have to play at some point?
See, all I'm,
I'm
gonna
sorry,
say is this.
you
I
were
think
on the
guys got
yours
wrong
is muted. I
idea.
didn't actually mute your
When I
microphone, so
break
there
down
I'll
the
unmute in a
game,
second.
I'm dead honest, and there's not that much arrogance.
it down,
so.
Cherry.
All right,
Let's
so
get it
first of
down,
all, before
Cherry.
I even get started, thanks for all the subs. I think yesterday we both had subs on both sides. Thanks, guys, for playing for us. It was a good game. You guys, I think, hopefully you guys had a great time out there because it was a fast game. So, how do we start with this game? Overall, very fast game. You had a lot of good skilled players out there. The puck was moving a lot of good passes, and just it felt fantastic to be skating in that game. So yeah, 5-4. We kind of got started a little. We got on the board early, right? A little bit of a lucky goal. I know. Hetes looked. Hetes wasn't happy about it. I kind of was happy to get one in right away. But
I mean, I'd be happy if I scored too.
yeah, but
yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. What happened in that play? Whoop is the scapegoat on this one. He tried to make a play back to edge, kind of a D to D, and he kind of fanned on it. Puck stood there. I think we both got to it at the same time. You might have got to it first, and then I helped to go over your shoulder. But like we said, with the whole Peso thing, when you're not scoring, that puck goes off somewhere into the corner. It got lucky, went in rainbow. Great, we're on the board. But I think you guys got 2 goals right after that. Like bam, bam, back together.
Who scored those?
Lepudre got
Lepudre
one from the point that I believe deflected off somebody
Yeah.
on your team.
He's so good.
And
Right.
then I believe Matt Taylor got the first one.
Did Matt Taylor get one?
I don't think Matt Taylor got one.
No,
when I
no,
updated
Taylor,
when I updated the stats, I don't remember him
I
going
think
up.
it was Chris. No,
Chris-
it was Slocum, Chris, Chris Taylor, Slocum, Chris Taylor, Slocum, Matt Lepudre, and I think Chris Taylor got 2.
Yeah,
so.
he might. Yeah. So like I said, then I think we took it. We got it back to 2-1. I don't know if we went up 3-2 or if we tied it 3-3. But I think
What period is this?
this is. I think by the end of the second we were. I think by the end of the second we may have been down 3-2 or up or tied 3-3.
You guys were down 3-2.
Yeah, down 3-2. I think we tied it up. We tied it up, and then then I think I had the last 2. Okay, I think Hollywood
the
tied
last
it
2?
up. I'm pretty sure I had the last 2. I had 2 in a row, and then it might have been the last 2, and then And then Troy had a winner. Troy's was a nice goal. You know, I was able to get it down the ice. I kind of weaved a little, gave him some time to catch up because we said, you know, that Otto lazy blood, right?
Well, that fake
course.
injury from earlier is still hurting him.
And then I put that thing across, you know, Shepard's stick. He, you know, put it right between his stick and his feet, and he went to Troy, and he just made a nice little snipe. I mean, he put it somewhere where, as we said, you probably would have got it because you're a little taller, but there wasn't much room there. So
He's
know,
got a great shot.
I don't even know if you would have gotten it, honestly. It was like Joe Ellis last week.
Yeah,
on you.
it was a
like,
great. It was.
Well, let's be honest. Last week, I shit the bed completely.
No worries, man. No worries.
Yeah.
It happens.
half
We all
dollar
have
space and you
bad
put
games.
the puck and it literally like
I get
that
what
was
you mean,
that was
though.
like
I
the
get what
shot
you
with
mean.
Troy.
You just
I'm
kind of gotta go.
Right.
Hey,
yeah, and he
You
came
got
in
it
with
this
the Dave P shovel. Like he's
Right.
like, I'm like, go get your shine box. Troy comes in, he's like, all right, bitch. He fucking puts it off the crossbar. I'm like, get the fuck out. Like Troy could do that 10 times, and you would miss the net all 10 times. You give him 100 pucks, and he would miss the net 100 times.
Yeah.
But that one time, he's like,
Little Giants,
Babe-
baby.
is
One
that
time.
Babe
One
Ruth
time.
nickname,
Yeah,
Mr.
Babe
Clutch?
Ruth and
Is that his new nickname, Mr. Clutch?
no,
Mr.
it's, I
Clutch.
don't know about clutch, but definitely sniper.
And I think Doc had one too, right? Doc had a breakaway on Hetes. He came down, tons of speed. I think he blew by everybody. Was just looking at him like, you know, like turnstile. And you know, Hetes made a great save on it. I think he went to Hedes's glove. You know, Hetes shined the leather and goes, you know, take that, you asshole.
Yeah,
fucking-
suck
And
my
then-
dick,
and then-
motherfucker.
And then so Hollywood set up shop about low slot. The puck came out there, so he teed one up, put it over Hedges' shoulder. And I think at that point he said, "Take that, you fucker."
Yeah, you can't do nothing about those.
No, and
man.
then I think Shepard gave me an easy one. Like he went to clear it. He had 3 options to clear that puck. I think he had either rim around, up the boards, or up the middle where I was, and he chose up the middle where I was. Hit my shin, and I
Yeah.
immediately one-timed it back at Hetes, and I think it kind of went up his shoulder. And
Yeah.
then the one that Hetes was kind of looking at his defenseman like, what happened?
Yeah.
Taylor made a play down low on our end. He lost the puck, or I got the puck from him. I hit it to the boards, and I wheeled around, and I passed it up to Pellet.
Mm-hmm.
And, Pellet, instead of skating it, just left it for me there. So I had a steam, and I went up. And then it was like, I think Edge and Shepard were there again. I think their sticks were facing, like, as Hetes put it earlier, the Golden Gate Bridge. And I don't know what I did. I put the puck underneath, and I might have lifted somebody's stick.
Yeah, you like you have 2 defensemen. It's a 1-on-2. You have both defensemen at the top of the circles, right? As a goalie, when you have 2 defensemen there, it's a 1-on-2. Either the player's going to go on the outside, the defenseman's going to poke the puck away. Something's going to happen. I don't know what either one of them were doing last night, and it's nothing on them. I mean, that like it was like I said, it was late '80s, '90s NHL hockey. There was not much defense, and there was tons of goal scoring.
Yeah,
but he put the puck between like
Post left
Shepard
wing
and
lock.
Edge, lifted up the stick, and just like ripped it. And I was like, oh, okay. Before I even had my feet set, like it was.
Yeah,
It was
once
poor
I got
defense,
once I
but,
got
like,
through
I
that,
could-
yeah, once
yeah,
I
I
got
just-
through that, I kind of had you flat-footed. I didn't even waste time. I just ripped that thing. I was looking low corner on you, and you said you didn't have your feet set. It went in, and
Yeah, with
Okay,
it's
and then-
like do one thing or the other.
right.
You know what I mean? Take the pass or fucking, take the shooter. Either one.
And Shepard, God bless his soul, he kind of had a rough game last night. I mean, he was turning pucks over. I mean, that wasn't the only couple of times. Like in the second goal, I was able to pick that puck off him, but he was telegraphing a lot of his passes where. Not just myself. I think a few others. We got a few of the pucks. A couple other times we just missed his outlet passes. So I mean, he just had kind of a subpar game.
Yeah.
But it happens, right? We all have those games. And then we're up 5-3 at this point. We're feeling pretty good. And then they come down with about 2 minutes left. They put it 5-4. We're starting to kind of.
Who scored that one?
Who got your? Was it Lapudre again? Lapudre from the point. He got the 4th.
Yeah, no, he got 2 goals. Criteria got 1.
He
yeah.
got
Go
that
you,
clutch goal right
Lapudre.
there,
Go you,
Lapudre.
buddy.
So let's pause.
Yeah, no, I'm going to leave that for. I wanted to leave that for
Now
Hetes. He
let's
needs to
move
talk
over to
about that.
Hetes because I know Hetes is a little.
No,
he
but-
was hot. Maybe he's probably going to heat up as he goes along.
no,
I'll
this
probably
is
have to
all
slow-
Hetes. This I want Hetes.
Look,
Put the phone
so
down.
I want to hear the goal.
I'm not
Simmer.
putting the phone
Let's-
down.
let's
This is
simmer.
the fucking notes, baby.
Oh, he's got notes. He's got notes. Here we go,
This
baby.
fucking 5-4 Monday Night Light classic.
By
All
the
right,
way,
this will go
everybody,
down in Monday Night Light
intermission.
history as Peggate. Maybe perhaps hashtag the Pegganing.
the pegging.
Maybe my favorite was the Hallmark Modern Classic, The Pegging, a North Star story. Because fucking with 15 seconds left in the game, the Tigers miraculously make a 2-goal comeback, and we get 2 goals in 1 minute 40 seconds left. Then, after everyone celebrates and all the Tigers come together in front of Riley's crease, both Ben and Rob, the refs, come together and convene there was never a goal decision wasn't made right away. They came together, convened, and they were like, oh, well, is it a goal? Is it not a goal? And we're like, what is he calling? Goal interference? What's going on? And then a minute goes by, they both stop, and then what happens? He looks up, like, oh, yeah, it's no goal. And we're like, why is it no goal? And I threw my stick, I ran back off the bench, and I'm like yelling. I'm trying to figure out what the fuck's going on.
You went Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah, sure, we'll go with that. But
I would have too.
But
I would have too.
From the bench, like they said that the net had come off. The net had came off, I guess, but to me, the puck was already in the net before the net came off. Now, the narrative may have changed overnight in the past 24 hours that, the net came off 10 to 8 inches. The net came off before the puck went in the net, et cetera, whatever else. But if you want to go into the semantics, I'm looking up USA Hockey, looking at NHL Hockey. As far as I know, if you push the net off deliberately, it's a penalty shot or a minor penalty. It's a penalty shot if it's under 2 minutes left in the game.
Yeah.
So whether the puck went in the net or not, we should at least earned a penalty
Who
shot.
knocked
Can
it
I
off?
ask a quick question here?
Oh, keep going.
I wasn't there. This is a real question. What makes you think someone knocked it off intentionally?
Whoever was the right defenseman and had a gray jersey on knocked the net off. Now, whether you want to argue whether it was a human mob of people and someone pushed somebody else and they fell in the net, whatever else.
That's
blah, blah, blah.
that's one thing, but
That's-
I mean, if someone's trying to, North Star's
But to-
trying to
but to
sweep
me-
around,
to me,
and they
if
hit the
it's-
net off without being pushed,
If there's a
it's still
minute
intentionally.
left in the game, 2 minutes, minute 30 left in the game, and the net gets knocked off by someone that's in the defending zone, whether it's deliberate, not like slightly deliberate, or
By
like
the
by the
defensive team.
goalie kick. Yeah, by the defensive team, the goalie pushes from the right side of the net to the left side, knocks his own net off. It wasn't on purpose, but you still deliberately pushed. It wasn't deliberate, but your tent was still pushing the net off, and the puck goes in. They don't regularly blow the whistle down for that. That's just kind of a given. An example was like on I think it was the North Stars' fourth goal or third goal, at Doc had taken a slap shot off the top of the crossbar.
Yeah.
I had pushed the net off maybe by like an inch or two and then moved the net back on after the goal went in. But I mean, I'm not going to complain because
Dude,
I did it to
it happens
myself.
to me
That's
at
your
least
fault,
four
though. You
times.
should have knocked it way off.
Happens to me
Yeah,
four times a
or
fucking
should have
game.
went after the referee.
Yeah.
With a
Four
hit.
times a fucking game, my net's off, and the refs don't say shit.
Now, Pete, I'm going to say, I think you know hockey probably rules pretty decently. I don't know them. I don't know what the rule is.
I'll
What
read
is
you the rule. I
technical-
have. I think
No,
it's
remember
in the
back
NHL
when I
one.
knew
Piercy
the rules.
Let me ask a question.
Okay, last question.
I'll start with him. Hetes can counter if it's wrong. Is it if the net comes off no matter what, it should stop? Is there discretion on the ref to say it barely went off, it went off a lot?
No.
Is it off, is done? Is it kind of discretionary? What's those rules?
The problem is if you're going to take the rule literally, you have to call the rule literally, the way Hetes
Yeah.
says. If he's got the rule there and it literally says you need to call this, it should have been called that. Now, the problem is you did have a human mob there. I mean, I was in that mob. I was pretty much on the ice, looking down low at the puck, and all of a sudden I saw the puck go in. But I also saw the net. Sorry about that. I also saw the net off. I hear no goal. Now, can I say who knocked it off? No, I can't. That's why the refs are
Yeah.
there. Now, I've had problems with the refs all year long. I mean, I went
Oh,
berserk
against us?
last game.
Yeah.
I went berserk last game over what I thought was a horrible call.
Yeah, with Fister, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, and the Dougie one several weeks ago.
Yeah.
But again, I didn't see it. I have to take the ref at his word that he said no goal. It got knocked off. Now, did he say who knocked it off? I didn't hear who knocked it off, so I can't say it. Now, and the same thing goes, we're playing beer league hockey. In beer league hockey, there is that unwritten rule that if the net falls off by a few inches, the goalie moves it back on, play continues because you don't stop it. No. I'm not saying it's the right thing, but a lot of times, as you said, right on that fourth goal, net came off, you moved it back, keep the play going, whatever. And, the refs won't call it a lot of times.
Be consistent.
Right. Now, what do I think happened? I don't think it was an intentional bump or us knocking it off at any point. Troy's not in net anymore. We don't play. It's not the intentionals over there. Sorry, Troy, but you used to do that all the time. We yelled at you about it.
Yeah.
But, Riley does. I've never seen Riley purposely
No,
do that.
I don't
No,
think
I talked to him at the
And-
gym today, and he didn't hit it off.
No.
I mean, I talked to him.
Now,
yeah.
I saw a human mob of people up there. I'm talking about there was at least everybody, maybe even your point man and two guys from your bench jumped in there to get that goal. It's quite possible that, we could have knocked it off, but it might not have been we knocked it off because the play was getting crazy. It could have been everybody's pushing in there and we fell on the net. I don't know. I can't say it because I didn't see it, and I refuse to say anything just to support my cause, the fact that we won the game, and change the narrative. I didn't see it. I can't give you the definitive answer, but I do know that Uncle Fister didn't see it from the glass through 11 people.
Real quick.
That's what he said post game.
Yeah.
He said he saw the net, he saw the puck go in, and then the net fell off afterwards.
He told me he's blind too, so I mean, go figure.
I got two things with that. So the rule, as soon as the net's even an inch off, you have to blow the whistle and call it dead. That's just the rule. It's all about the intention of blow. The whistle doesn't necessarily have to blow, but it has to be the intent of blowing the whistle. But also, be consistent. So all fucking year, it's been the net's been off like an inch or two with me all the time.
I was gonna say like I said, I'm not an expert in hockey rules. I haven't taken a reffing class. All I know is
I can read you the rule if you want.
We'll go back to you once I say my statement is playing twice a week in Troy, playing in Hazel Park. I see the net just slightly go off all the time. The ref puts it back on, not call it. So that does make it more of a gray spot where it is a harder call. Well, that depends
who has possession. If the offensive team has possession and that happens, no, whistle's blown. If the defensive team that happens, then no, you fix the net. And another thing I wanted to say was, when the net came off, was it immediate whistle blow, or was it net comes off, goal, and then whistle blow?
So I want to go
or
over
was it parade major blow? I mean, was he trying to lead a parade? I mean, it depends on the way he blew the whistle too. Was it a long blow, like guys start marching?
I want to go back to Hetes real quick. It sounds like he had the rule he wants to cover.
I mean, the whistle didn't blow until after the puck was in the net.
Then I think that's a goal. That's my opinion.
So I mean, I can read you the NHL or the USA Hockey one. I'll read you Rule 610, delaying the game, Article Echo, right?
But you're assuming we delayed it. Remember, you got to read the rule.
This is it's underneath the delay of game.
Okay.
Okay. So if the goal frame is deliberately displaced in the last 2 minutes of a game or any time in overtime, a penalty shot / optional minor penalty should be assessed. And then it goes on further. There's another bullet point that discusses if the player is attempting a shot and or scoring chance that a referee should, if it's not insinuated, but a referee should give that weighted option towards a penalty shot. So that was my biggest issue yesterday, was that if you're not going to call that a goal and you don't have sufficient proof and you waited until after the fact of the whistle to make a play, then at least at minimum the worst we should have got at least was a penalty shot out of it. Or I mean, like even a minor penalty. Like, I'm sure, don't get me wrong, there's only 6-7 seconds left in the game, but like we should have gotten something out of it.
But if your player did hit their player into it,
if that's what happened, but to me, whoever was the right defenseman on the North Stars, to be whoever it was that was like down in the crease, that their person had that bump up the net. And then another factor was, like I said, we had all talked about earlier, was did the puck go in before the net came off or not? Because the puck goes in, net comes off after, it doesn't matter. Then it's a goal.
Well, even the net slightly comes off and the puck goes in, if the ref is not going to blow that whistle, that's a goal. We don't have video replay.
So
you have to be in the act of blowing the whistle.
I have to let the cat out of the bag here. So you guys, just so you know what we're doing for Shaune's 30th birthday, we're all going down to the Detroit Police Station. We're taking the North Stars and the Tigers, and we'll put them all to lie detector tests to find out who knocked the net off. And when we find out, we're gonna go back in time.
How many people?
We're gonna play the game the last 15 seconds, and then go to OT if we have to, or call a penalty.
So I want to go to a voicemail. We actually got a call from one of the refs in the game. And they gave what they saw. So we're going to play that. I think for this,
it's either Troy doing a fake voice or it's Banner.
Either way, I think
have faith in your
we're
refs.
We're going to listen to that.
Your refs.
We'll give our opinions real quick on that, but I think we could go around all day on talking about this because we're all going to have different opinions, or no one's going to come to an agreement. But let's listen to this voicemail real quick and see what it has to say.
The same refs are calling delay games on goalies
hey boys,
for
this
free
is
stuff.
Ben McCauley, much handsome older brother of NHL referee Wes McCauley. Just want to give you my point of view of the controversial non-goal last night. Let you know, boys, that there was no bias, no preconceived judgments going into it. We positioned Rob down low. Normally that referee who's not dropping the puck is out at the blue line, but we knew with seconds to go in the game, he wanted to be in a position where he could see a play if there was one potentially going. But what happened is that massive humanity stumbled into the net while the shot came from the slot. The net was off of its moorings, off the pegs, at least 8 inches, 10 inches from my point of view, just about the dot where I was. I know it was controversial, but the right call was made. And sorry, Hetes. No hard feelings. And hey, you guys have a great podcast. See ya.
So when Ben says massive humanity, is he talking about Ty there or just everybody in front of the net?
Both.
It was Whoop was on the bench. So.
No, yeah, no, but listen, that puck. Okay, so I mean, to rerun that play over again, it started with yours truly messing up the draw because at that point I had pretty much won every draw, and that one I lose and it goes back to the middle. All right, so we lose that draw, and then once it gets to the middle, we had that scrum. The puck bounced around like several times in front. It went from the left of the net to the right of the net, back to the left. We're all putting our six in there, and everybody just crashed the net. And yeah, the puck went in the net. I can't say it didn't go in the net. The problem is again, the net was off when the puck went in. The problem is now when you go to the rule, how did the net get knocked off?
Yeah.
How do we solve that? I mean, we try to take the refs at their word that they saw it. I mean, Ben put Rob down there to look at it. Now, Rob was on the one side of the net. Ben was at the half boards, so he's looking right at the net on the post that went off.
Ben's in the golden triangle. I have no issue with Ben
yeah.
because he said he didn't make the call, which he should have made the call between the two refs because he's in a better position than Rob is. Rob is behind.
Well, in all
behind
reality,
goal
the
line.
net's off before the puck goes in the net. No goal.
Yeah,
no goal.
If that's
right.
the case.
Yeah.
Right, but
Yeah.
I mean, how do you solve that? I mean, you look forward because I mean, again, it's controversial. You say you don't want. I mean, this is a game where yes, it affects the bye week for it may affect the bye who gets second place. It doesn't affect the overall playoff standings because we've clinched, right? We're in the playoffs.
Yeah,
It affects the bye, but. How do you solve something like this in the future? I mean, what do we have to do? Do we have to start getting telestrators now?
I think we
put
need
overhead cams
a little
into
bit
the
better
rink.
refs.
Either way,
No offense,
the
I think we need a
refs.
little bit better
That's
refs.
the biggest thing is my issue's consistency, right?
Yeah.
So I had to call earlier this year with Ben that you get muted so many times. I'm like,
You muted yourself
I-
there,
I-
bud.
That's 5,000
no, I
points on the chat.
understand that, right? I got a call earlier in the season with Ben, and I got a stick up my dick. Literally, first game against you guys, Leroy scores a goal earlier in the play. I had to take the stick and pull it out like I'm fucking on Game of Thrones, and I have a spear in my dick.
Did
I'm
you
like,
enjoy it?
No, I did not enjoy it,
He
unfortunately.
enjoyed that
The
shit.
Kurt wasn't even in my ass. Give me some credit here. At least touch the prostate. Anyways,
So-
like, and then like there was no goal interference or anything there. That you guys eventually scored. I bitched at Ben, but I accepted it. So, but it means the second time that I think in the 2 out of 2 games with Ben that there's been a controversy in and with, and that's why I'm living. I mean, it's been frustrated because I mean,
I get it.
the game
I
at
get
least
it.
if it went to overtime. And I'm playing against Riley, and we have this big rivalry, Crunk and
Oh,
me,
you
we're
guys
ex
got
North Stars, there's
traded and
storylines. Yeah.
everything, yeah.
Me and Riley have played against each other for over a decade now. Where I love playing against Riley. Where it's like
Yeah,
it's like two
you guys
brothers,
are
right?
boys,
We could
yeah.
have decided in overtime. You guys could have scored in overtime, took the momentum back. It would have made more sense to me. And it's just everything.
It's a sucky way to lose. It's a sucky way to lose.
Beyond, and it's just
Nobody ever wants to lose
Fuck
or win a
no.
game when it has to be judged by a controversial call. We don't like it. I mean, in the end though, we've said it before a million times. Not just in this situation. We have 2 refs, and the rest of them are volunteers. Right? It happens where a lot of the guys may miss a call. I'm not saying the call was missed yesterday. I mean, again, I have to put my faith in them. I get pissed off at the refs more than anybody else lately.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm like the penalty minute, one of the penalty minute leaders this year. And
I'm probably right behind you since I'm leading goalies in fucking penalties.
Yeah.
Because lo and behold, God, you can't fucking freeze a puck and slide out of the crease, even though you froze the puck with your fucking.
did you hear me
skate
call
out
for a
crease.
penalty on you again
Jesus
yesterday? On that
Christ.
one?
Yeah, what the fuck? Like, is there any consistency at all? Put a pylon out there to fucking blow a whistle.
So we're gonna move on
Just you,
from this
Hetes, just
subject.
Me in the mouth.
Leroy, you being requested.
Yeah, right. Bring both sticks this time, Leroy.
So, anyways, we're gonna move on from this. There's a couple things we can do. End of the year, we can review the ref process. I'm sure if we want to expand the rest, it's a possibility. You got to remember.
I've had no
that's
issues.
gonna-
I have had no issues
I'll
with
be-
Trent or Peso.
That's just
Well, you're gonna have to deal with me
Hey,
soon
Peso,
too.
I love you, buddy, but
There
you
you
don't
go.
make a fucking call. He will not make a penalty.
There wasn't a call
to save
last
his
night.
life.
There was probably 4 or 5
I'm putting
calls.
my hat in
that-
the ring for a ref too.
Yeah, I'm gonna do my fucking.
I already took the
modules or
test,
whatever,
baby.
and-
I just got to get the stripes
I'll
uniform.
ref
I just haven't
too.
bought the gear.
So, anyways, like I said, we're gonna be moving on from this subject. We can revisit this in the 9 year. It obviously does suck that a call does have to go down like this. But I think spending 20 minutes to a half hour on this one subject is a little bit going around and around. So let's move on to some standings then. So moving on to the standings real quick. We're OFP Power Rankings. We got the North Stars, American Seals, Whalers, Tigers, Nordiques, Ducks. Doesn't really matter as far as things are concerned. We want to move on to the main event of playoffs where the standings are. So real quick, we know that the Golden Seals have already clinched 33 points. They're only a couple points away from clinching that bye. North Stars have moved into second place with 26 points. They do have 15 games versus the Americans, who have 25 points with 14. Tigers have 22 points, 14 games as well. Whalers have moved up to 20 points, 14 games in hand. And then we have the Nordiques, 15 points. The Mighty Ducks went to 12 points. Both those teams have 14 points as well. So real quick, we did receive another voicemail today that I did want to play real quick. So let's play that.
What's up, boys? The Sniper. Looking forward to another great show tonight. I'm told that I got Dylan Pew Pew and Spicy Lettuce on the show tonight. Hope you have a nice show. I hope Hetes shows up. I'm a little bit nervous he's going to not show, but I hope that he does. Definitely not calling to brag about scoring a goal on both of you last night. I would never do that. Don't know which one was nicer. They're both kind of like your kids, you know, you love them both. But I'm calling because last week the trusted voice put the question out to the panel about who was going to get that second bye, you know, the Tigers, the Americans, and the North Stars. And Spicy guaranteed it would be the Tigers, so I don't expect his answer to change. Cone and Piercy both chose the Americans. And I'm just wondering if the trusted voice, have we done enough to change your opinion? Do you think the North Stars can do it? And then I'll take Dylan's opinion as well. Have a great show. Love you guys.
Oh, thanks as always from Troy, our number one caller on the Whoop line, I would say.
Was
so
a nice goal.
We've already talked about this
know.
during the show and before the show. Like,
know.
I'm not like his superlative and Bus's superlative of goddamn Hetes, man. You should have stopped more goals. I literally wouldn't. Like, I would not take back any of the play. I played them all right. I was 4 for 4 on breakaways last night. Like it was just a snipe from Troy. Like it was a nice goal.
Go you, Troy. Hey, go you, buddy.
God, he does exactly what he wants. He gets under your guys' skin.
No.
Oh, dude, you mistake us joking around as getting into our skin. If someone's under,
He's
If
really
anybody gets
underneath
under
my
his skin, it's me.
make me break a stick. I threw a stick last night.
Listen,
Make me break a stick.
I've gotten F-bombs out of Dylan, and I got
No.
Hetes to throw. My goal on that 2 weeks ago, you throw a big.
Fuck. I said, oh, fuck.
Yeah, close enough.
So let's get back to his question.
Ty Otto has got my goat, not going to lie. When he does nothing and gets a fucking
This
assist.
just turned into the goalie podcast.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Anyways, back to the question is, no, it hasn't changed my mind on who's going to get a bye as of right now. Yes, you guys are 1 point ahead of the Americans, but you also have one extra game played. So, you know, technically they kind of have those points in hand. I think your guys' trades have made the North Stars a better team, but I still think the talent is better overall on the Americans. Just
That's a
with
shame
you got
you
your
said
Proctor, you got your Antioch, you got your J-Flow. I think it's more balanced and just an overall better team. And I think in the end, they're going to emerge with that bye. Dylan, I see you shaking your head. What are your thoughts on this?
I 100% think the North Stars are going to take it.
Thank you, Dylan.
They're balanced. Oh, sorry. Very balanced. I mean, first and second line, you guys both are, threatened. Either way, Riley, you've been playing pretty fucking good lately. I think it kind of comes down to that. If Riley can keep playing good, not letting no softies in, and fucking, you guys will take care of the rest.
That's what I hope.
I mean, there's no soft fucking spots with you guys. I mean, what's your first line?
Me, Troy, and Ellis right now.
And then who's the second line?
Hollywood, Gio, and Ty.
Now tell me a weakness right there.
I mean,
Ty.
Ty, right? I mean, Ty. We have Ty, but again, Ty may be the weakness, but somehow he's two
dishes
helpers
above.
yesterday. Two helpers yesterday.
The
Another
week-
couple helpers the week before.
The weakness of the North Stars is the inability to play a transition game with their defense after playing on both teams. So the biggest thing about you guys is you do well when you're like last night. We may have had like a 55-45 possession on you guys, but I don't know if your game plan or you adjusted eventually was to put like 2 forecheckers in, and then you lined up the lines how you wanted them. We started our first period when we got up 2-1 with the lines how we wanted them, right? But you guys eventually were able to switch around quarterback better, and you guys forecheck 2 players and the entire time, which helps your D get back and put 2 people on Matt Taylor, put 2 people on Slocum, which
backchecking.
Yes, but like a team like maybe like you guys or the Americans maybe were maybe not so north south. With like Matt Taylor or Slocum that goes like 100% miles an hour at the net. Maybe it's like shifty Proctor. Maybe you might be able to slip through your defense.
Yeah. So I kind of agree, but coming from like the Nordiques, right? The biggest problem I had with the Nordiques, and I had let Pandy know, was coming out of the zone with the defense. Like we had Gio, we had Fem, we had myself. And Kim, and we were always too slow out of our zone, right? The puck wasn't coming out fast enough, which made us stop. I don't see that with the North Stars, right? I mean, we got Booker, he moves the puck, Sikorsky moves the puck. I mean, we got guys that are moving the puck, and it's helping the transition game, and it's showing. Now, we still have some things to tighten up, because I think right now we're 4-0 since the trade, and I ran the numbers where we got 20 goals for and 10 goals against. That 10 goals kind of scares me, because we've been in a couple 1-goal games with you guys. With you guys yesterday, I
Seals
think
too, right?
yeah. Well,
I mean,
okay.
if you take out the Seals game and you really have don't get me wrong, you smash the Seals, but you take out the 8 goals for and
it's
the 2
kind of
goals
even.
given
Yeah,
up.
it's kind of even. So I mean, we have some little work to do on the back end for sure. I mean, and I think part of the thing is, we got to get our forwards moving. We got to get our forwards coming back. Now, as part of the forecheck, I don't think that game is changed any. You put me in, you put me out there on the line. I'm always playing that forecheck type sneaky game. You're not going to see me going into that corner, balls out, unless I know I'm getting that puck. If not, you're going to find me hiding in the wings looking to pick off passes.
It works better with the way you have your lineups, because Troy forechecks, Joe Ellis does, maybe Kimmel does as much as Kimmel's kind of like Proctor maybe, where he floats high zone, picks off a pass, etc. But my whole point was, for you guys, like the weakness to counter Dylan's point. Maybe your transition defense, and then like you said, Riley. If Riley stops what he should, like he has been the past couple games, then you can't ask for any more.
What like I said, the thing I see is us actually a better defensive team than the North Stars are a better defensive team than they were prior to the trade. And the people they picked up. I mean, they had you in that, and they had Riley in that. Now, we can argue to
Riley knows. I think I'm 100% better than Riley. Riley knows that. That's fine.
Just like every goalie. I think I'm 100% better.
And Riley's playing
great
great right now. But I mean, part of that though too is we have to make sure we take care of ourselves and our
You
end,
guys
right?
do. You guys limit the second chances with him.
And it's all about keeping our legs moving. Like Troy yesterday, and God bless his soul, he got into Troy auto mode where he's screaming at Sikorsky, he's screaming at everybody, and I'm sitting there, elbowing Troy. I'm like, Troy, relax. It's just a goal.
Take a lap, Troy.
I mean, and he knows, and I kept telling Troy, we're just a goal down. Relax. A lot of game left. Sikorsky did the right thing. Like I think it was, he got walked on one of the plays, and I told Sikorsky afterwards, look, next time lean the other way, right? But as far as getting that second place, I know I went off on a tangent. Sorry, Percy.
No, go for it.
But as far as getting a second place, I put in faith in us. I mean, right now we're 1 point up on the Americans, which means even if we with that bye week, even if we don't, the Americans win on when we're on the bye week, it means that our game versus the Americans coming up is that much more important, because we have that point on them right now. We have to win that game. Yeah. Yes, we need to win everything else, and it's kind of like the whole Ducks Nordique thing. We gotta make sure we shut the door now and don't lose games that we should be winning. Like we'll talk about next week's game.
You guys got to roll into the playoffs.
Yeah, we're starting to warm up. I even told you I was kind of sandbagging the first half. I'm trying to start ramping up my game too, because we're getting close to playoffs. I got to start playing better.
You guys are rolling right now.
Better.
Now, Hetes, going over to the Tigers. Do you guys still feel like you guys are in the ability to get that bye week? What's your chances? How are you feeling about that? Troy was talking a little bit.
100% feel that way. So it's going to come down to what happens between the Americans and the North Stars, effectively. Because the Americans win, then we can easily slot in, because we still have the Americans to play. We still have more games than the North Stars to play, because we have a game in hand. So technically, if the Americans beat the North Stars and then we win out the rest of our games, I mean, we still play the Seals still.
Yeah.
we can.
That's next week. That's gonna be a big
Yeah,
one.
we can
Yep.
we can catch whoever's the second and take the second place spot.
Oh, for
so
sure,
I mean,
for sure.
it's still wide open. It kind of comes down to a little bit of fate between the North Stars, the Americans, sort of thing. But by the same token, I mean, there's still a little fate between if the North Stars want to make it, they would assume the Americans would have to beat us, right? So
And the big thing with the Americans, I don't think they've been playing as well as they were in the first part of the year.
perhaps their team may not be, but the one player that's picked it up and it's kind of been like, okay, team's on my back now. It's been J Flow. The past 3 or 4 games,
Has he?
J Flow has been kind of
J-Flow.
has been kind of has been on his ball point. Where
Go
some of the
him.
other goalies in the league, like myself or Dylan, have kind of been little ups and downs. He's when fight the puck.
I tell you what,
he's been the other way around. He's been really solid.
Last game, I'm fucking feeling it now. I'm settling. I'm settling in now, boys.
Yeah, just a quick love for the Whalers. Obviously, getting that 3 points last week with the Ducks loss is huge for them. They're at 20 points now. Mighty Ducks max points they can have is 21. So the Whalers are starting to feel pretty good about getting into that spot no matter what. The Ducks would have the tiebreaker over us. We would have the tiebreaker over the Nordiques with 2 wins on that side. But we're feeling pretty good. But I think the main thing on this bottom is we're looking at a race between the Nordiques and the Mighty Ducks.
Now, wait, real quick. Speaking of the Whalers, how do you guys feel? How's the locker room going? You guys getting a little more confidence? Is it?
I mean, we had a little bit of a losing streak going into that second part.
Where's Dave P at?
yesterday? I think he's kind
He's
of
right over here under the table.
Dave P. I thought he was in, then it turned out he was out.
I heard he
all
was
I heard
injured,
was a
but I
possible
saw him tonight at
neck.
my kid's practice. He was skating.
No neck brace.
Oh, he's listening to rock music, fucking headbanging. He looked-
Miraculous.
I'm not 100% sure. I was just told by Trent, he called, he said he did something to his neck. As far as the neck thing goes, maybe his neck's bothering him and he can still skate, but he doesn't want to be out on the ice where he could get hit. I can't really speak to that, but our atmosphere after the
Sandbagger.
game was definitely good. You know, we went out there, we felt like we did outplay them on the game. We felt like we did have the upper hand. It wasn't one of those games that we felt like, oh, they kicked our butt the whole game, but we got a couple easy ones in.
Yeah.
And just with the Ducks losing that game and then beating the Nordiques, we knew we jumped points on all of them by
I was
there.
just giving Dave P shit.
So what do you guys need now to clinch? I mean, how many more points do you
We
need?
got 20 points. Like I said, the max the Mighty Ducks would have is 21 points. So 2
you
points
need-
would clinch us. Mighty Ducks would have a bye. So pretty much the Mighty Ducks can't have to win out
You
the
got
rest
to
of
win
the
a
time.
game, right? So for you guys, you need to at least get a couple points here, win a game maybe. And
They
you're,
play against you guys next week.
I know they do.
But yeah, let's kind of move over to the last playoff spot of it. Like I said, it's right now. It looks like it's coming down to the Nordiques and the Ducks. Right now, the Ducks are 3 points behind, but they still play each other one time, which would make that even team. And I was looking at it earlier. They're 1-1 against each other, so the winner of that third game would actually have the tiebreaker in between the teams. So essentially, it comes down to that game, and then every other game is obviously
If the Ducks can
counts.
pick one fucking point up. You know what I mean?
But yeah, the winner of that game, I would say, does have the advantage just because of the tiebreaker on that. Obviously, if the
Goal
Nordiques won that
differential,
game,
right?
it would
Yeah.
put them way up in the standings, probably clinch them. But if the Ducks win, then it's anybody's game. I mean,
Jesus.
I don't know about opinions here. I actually kind of feel the Ducks are slightly a better. I think they're more of a better team.
I think
Sometimes
they're
they
a
come
very
out and
good
they're
team.
great.
Remember one thing though. Sorry.
No, keep going.
Remember who has the bye week that week too. That last week we're on the bye week, the North Stars. So I mean, you're looking at if they need subs in that week, it's going to get interesting too with that.
Yeah.
I mean, who do you pick? I mean, what do you pick up? I mean, if we're throwing myself
call.
or
Good
Gio
call.
or Hollywood, or Hollywood wouldn't be able to do it, but maybe Hollywood or Troy, you know,
Yeah.
the guys that are kind of got the
X factor.
hot stick right now too.
Mhm.
That
See-
could be interesting.
Yeah. See, I think that the Ducks, I think they played pretty fucking well last night, to be honest with you. It was slow, but they had some great chances against me. I mean, I had probably 2 to 3 saves where if I wasn't locked in, there were goals all day. So,
Yeah, and I actually feel, I don't know if I'm alone. I don't know, like, Hetes, who do you think's the more talented team, especially since this trade? I feel like the Ducks recently, since Turtles came back, has actually scored more points than the Nordiques, and the Nordiques have been hurting more since that trade happened.
For me, on paper, I mean, I feel like the Ducks are the more talented team, but it kind of comes down to what team plays their strengths and what areas that talent is in, right? So if I look at the Ducks D core and the Deeks D core, maybe the panel people in the room be kind of surprised and go, really? But I think the Deeks D might be a little bit, and the Koner might be a little bit better than the Ducks. But where the Ducks shine is they have more offensive dynamicism and creativity. Whereas you kind of know what you're getting with Kimmel. You kind of know what you're getting with Cunningham. You know Judge is gonna, like you said earlier, kind of go coast to coast. He'll take the puck around the net. He's gonna look for the outlet pass. But is that D going to be? Score. Is D going to be there? Is Fem going to be there to finish? So. It's kind of like you're weighing your X to your Y factor. What's going to pan out at the end? I think the biggest answer what's going to happen is just going to be that Ducks Deeks game. Who wins that game is going to kind of get that spot because at this point in the season, unless one of them just beat a team that's snoozing, for example, I think the Whalers that play play against. I had here.
The Whalers have played both those teams already in the
last
podcast.
the last game of the season. No, it's the Deeks. That's what it is. So the Deeks play the Golden Seals, and we play the Ducks at the end of the season. So if the Golden Seals, Dylan's going to Bahamas and whoops fun in it. He's got to rest up that tendy like the NFL does last season.
Tony
right?
Romo style.
Tony Romo style, right? Yeah. Or Skillman's like, you know what, Matt Taylor. Well, I'll meet you at Cozy's. You don't need to come here this week. You don't want to injure that hamstring. The Ducks could sneak 3 points. So for me, it's that game. It's that game against themselves. And then if either team gets an extra point here or there, that could help. But
yeah, and that's January 27th when they play each other.
$100 on it. Who's making the playoffs?
Well, I'm not putting any money.
Hypothetically.
No, listen. That last week, there's a.
But who are you picking?
I agree with Pete. It really comes down to a lot of subs. Because even last night for
us. Who are you picking?
No, but who are you picking?
Right now, who are you picking?
Gun to my head, I think the Ducks make it. Gun to my head, I think the Ducks make it.
Like I said earlier, I think they're the better team right now. I think essentially that game, if they win that game, they're in the driver's seat with the tiebreaker. Even though I know Ben was down, essentially was almost like it's over type of attitude after last night's game. All they got to do is win that game, and they're back in their driver's seat. So they control their fate for that last game. They just got to...
So you're picking the Ducks.
I'm going to take the Ducks.
Buck of the trend, boys. I got the Deeks.
You got the Deeks?
And the reason why is because Koner, for me, is a bigger X factor than Ryan Z. Ryan Z's great.
Yeah, I agree.
But when Koner's on... When he's locked in,
nothing gets by him.
Two seasons ago, you saw him in the playoffs.
Nothing gets by him.
Nothing can get by. It's on par when you're locked in, or when a goalie gets locked in, when it lights, it's really hard to score. We're playing against the Tigers a month ago and got shut out.
1.71 goals against. When he was locked in, what was getting by him? Right?
It's nothing. Yeah,
nothing was getting by you.
And for me, Koner kind of flashes that more than Ryan Z does. So if you put him on the spot, big game, big situation, but Koner. Gotta win this game, boy. We need you here. And the Deeks play that style, right? They play that slow game where they build from the back sort of thing.
And it really comes out, like I said, gun to my head. I think the Ducks make it, but it's just nobody has shown in the last 4 or 5 weeks. Neither of those teams have shown they want to take that spot. The only reason the Deeks are in the playoffs still is because they're 3 points ahead.
Yeah,
but they're not. They're not pressing that matter to get it.
There's no confidence. There's no just
Fem and Kimmel can do some miraculous things. 2 weeks.
Fem's got the best shot in the league. That's my opinion.
Yeah, last week that play Fem made to Kimmel for that goal. That was beautiful, and they can do that. But they got to the feet got to be moving. They got to be picking up. Same with the Ducks.
That rah guy.
I play with Sugar on Tuesday nights, and last week we saw the Sugar Rush come out. He went out there. He was mad at the world. I think he was mad at everything. Mad at the Zamboni driver for whatever reason. Scores a hat trick, and he wanted more, and he had a chance to get more.
I love playing against Sugar. But I love it.
Last week. Yesterday, I sat there cussing at him over the glass. I'm like, get going, man. Get your body going. Yeah. It's come on. Yeah. You guys want to get into playoffs. You're complaining that nothing's happening. Go make it happen.
I think he's a little frustrated that he doesn't have the speed to go with him, if you ask me. Because there's been a lot of times where he's coming into the zone, and you got McShannock, which is a great D. You're not going to fucking wheel him, so you got to pull back, and then there's nobody with him.
Yeah,
it's tough. And then, no offense to Sugar, but you have way better hands and you have a shot. You know what I mean? I'm not going to get snipped out by Sugar too many times.
How many times though in this league are you going to be able to pair a number? You essentially need. It's very hard. It's very hard.
There's 3 teams in the league right now that have the ability to make a first and second line that's tough to play. Like, there's not really weakness. The North Stars are one team.
Tigers.
The Tigers are arguably two.
And
Ducks,
and the Seals.
I was going to say this.
I think the Ducks have a good first and second line as well.
I was going to say my last team. Actually, I was going to say was going to be the Whalers because theoretically,
Whalers,
you have
yes.
Serta Trent, and then you have
Yes.
Peso Dave P. Right.
Yeah.
So like
Yes.
every team's got if you has either 4 guys locked in or 3 guys
Yeah.
across the board that can skate. So
The Ducks have the issue where they gotta. I think they have to take their weaker of the 2 lines because obviously you could say like we got a bin and a turtle together, which is a good one.
I told him the answer. Sorry, not to cut you off. I told him the answer a couple weeks ago, maybe almost like a month ago now, because it was before Christmas. That Kyle Bauer has expressed the interest and has played defense once before. Now, if you can convince him to play, he can convince himself and convince Busted to play defense. You can move Oliveri up because if you put Oliveri and Bauer next to each other comparatively, who's a faster skater? Oliveri.
Yep.
Maybe that's the speed that Sugar wants or needs for someone to pull him behind the zone. But at this point in the season,
That's how
you got to do something. I mean,
2
right?
years ago, me and Sugar were on the same team. I mean, that's what we exploited it where we put us together for the speed, the same way me and Fem did. But when we split us up, I mean, we had at least another guy that could kind of keep up with Sugar, and he led the league in scoring. I think that year.
Yeah.
I think he was. I think last 2 years he's led the league.
and maybe
right?
with the Ducks too, just continuously fucking rotate the lines.
Yeah.
And that's actually tough though when you're doing a draft and someone like Rubo, we all know is a good player, but when you're drafting that defense there, that's essentially taking away from that extra speed forward.
Yeah.
Is it worth it? Is it not? And you kind of need. Rubo likes to jump up.
Yep.
He likes to kind of jump in to do the offense, but I don't think he's actually scored a lot of goals. So you
But
you need like
solid.
you need the Matt Lapuje performance where he's solid back there and he's putting up goals when you're drafting
but
someone
he's
in
not,
that slot.
He's not making goals jumping up. He's making goals fucking, from the blue line with slap shots and shit like that.
Again, it's like you look at that Ducks lineup top to bottom. You're kind of amazed that they're that low at the bottom of the standings. You expect them to at least be where the Whalers are. I mean, not that you guys deserve to be in the bottom, but you expect with that kind of lineup, you expect them to have at least be higher in the standings. I mean,
Yes.
I mean, the Whalers, let's face facts, we have underachieved so far this year.
you guys-
well,
And
there's still 4 weeks to
it's
get it
one
together,
of those
right?
You guys
things
are the
where
most balanced team.
I mean, the
We're-
Tigers are scary as it
Hey.
is. I mean, you guys got
yeah.
you guys got a very good lineup top to bottom. I mean,
Yes.
We'll see. We didn't cover news. Need to cover news and rumors today, but we'll see.
do you have something for
No,
us?
I'm not spitting anything out. It's not 100% yet.
He's got something, but he wouldn't even tell me at the bar the other night.
Oh, that's
He wouldn't
interesting.
even tell me.
But yeah, I mean, with
they're going
Pace,
to bench Hetes for a goalie.
if
Dun-dun-dun.
Skillman's going in net and they're putting
Big
Hetes
Cat
out
Charles
forward.
Mackey rolls on out with the Goldberg glove save.
Skillman is going in net and Hetes is playing D, and the world changes.
No, we put Mackey back in me up on D.
Oh, we're good to go,
unstoppable. Shepard playing O. Let's go.
Wait, so the Seals, did we clinch no matter what?
Yeah.
The bye?
I think you're 1 point away.
You guys, yeah, because theoretically, if you guys completely crap the bed, we win out, we'll overtake the first spot, and there's a chance the Tigers or the Americans overtake you guys.
Okay.
I think the Americans. I don't know if you guys had the chance to get first.
Hypothetically, I mean, if we beat them and the Americans beat you, yeah, we could.
Yeah, so
You
I
guys,
mean,
you guys have
we're
33
still on the
points right
hunt,
now.
sort of.
The North Stars could have a potential of 35 points, Americans 37 points, and the Tigers 34 points. Now, some of those teams are going to be playing each other,
Yeah.
so if you actually looked at it, like did a full analysis of it, all those players
Yeah, but there's
won't
still a
max
chance we
out.
don't get
But
it. Yeah,
realistically, probably 1 or 2 more points, and you guys got it in the
feel like
bag.
Yeah,
We're just in our
realistically, we're
stride,
giving you
too.
guys at least a 1 or 2 seat. I mean, we're giving it to you guys. I think
Well,
we're pretty
We still got to. We got to show
Yeah.
up. We got to play.
exactly.
So super quick, moving on to next week's games, we have the Americans versus the Nordiques, the Golden Seals versus the Tigers, and the Whalers versus the North Stars. Ducks are on the bye. Dylan, what game do you like out on that schedule besides your own?
There's only 2 other games.
I don't know. I don't want you to say your own.
Yeah, well, obviously your own always counts.
What do we got? Americans new?
I'm going to say the Americans
Wait.
Nordiques just because of
And
playoffs reasons for
then
that
who
bottom of
else?
the thing.
The
It's
North
a
Stars
must
and-
win.
The North Stars play the Whalers, and then you guys play
I like
against.
North Stars Whalers.
I think that's a fun one. I
You
think
know
last
why?
time we beat them pretty good. They beat us pretty good in the same game. We got the new North Stars, though.
Well, I
new
feel
look
like-
since we last
I think
played
you
them.
guys match up very well together. You guys both have, basically 2 first lines.
2 first lines, right?
And
Yeah.
then what goalie can? I mean, you guys have a little bit more firepower. Don't get me wrong, but Cameron, when he's on his game, Cameron's on his fucking game. When if Trent gets opportunities, he's gonna fucking bury him.
Yep.
So
Trent's got that clap bomb,
And
which
also,
I'll stand in front of
for me, it kind of comes down to also who's subbing. Because, I mean, I know it's not a narrative that you want to always bring up, but depending on who you bring in, I guess for me, in the past couple weeks, I mean, there's been some games where people are on their second game, right, and then they haven't skated at all,
Nordiques?
and then you got the
Nordiques Whalers.
Nordiques Whalers, or even the game that you guys played last week. You had 5 subs. The Seals had 5 subs in other games, which is like.
I had
for
17
me, I told
fucking
Troy
2-on-1s.
before I got traded, I'm like, you need to
Those
put
are
like a
all
no
Luka
sub
Mechanic's
policy on like, or limit how many guys you have sub every week,
My
because you don't
fault. I
want
let 'em
5
in.
guys,
I
you
let
want
'em
1 or
in.
2.
Yeah, it's like you're playing like the Whalers are playing 2 games or something, right? Because there's so many subs. I mean, Camera. As you said, I agree with you so much with Camera. I mean, the joke that we had last night, the joke that we had with the North Stars, and I think you were there for to hear that. We said that can the North Stars pull a 3-peat and chase Camera away? That was the joke we had, right? Which we know won't happen because Camera always sticks around to have the beers afterwards. And I know you would have stuck around yesterday too.
Oh, I would have. If I would have lost 10-0, I would have stuck around.
I know.
Well, my big thing is when
Like-
I didn't stick around is I get salty and I will find I will rip on you so bad about something. I'll find something about you and try to rip on you, and I just wanted to be a fair loser and just walk away. That was it.
Nah,
Yeah, I mean,
stick around next time. We have fun. We like to rip on each other more than we like to rip on others. So
For me, obviously, I'm interested in the Americans Nordiques game just because the Nordiques need points.
Yeah.
They need to go out there. We need to see some killer instinct
wins?
out of them. I got to go with the Americans. I'm just saying
Think
it's
so?
interesting to see. You got to see that killer instinct out of the Nordiques. It's pretty much a must, at least overtime. You need at least 1 point minimum out of that game to start putting the pressure
Depending
on
on
the Ducks.
subs, I'm probably going to go Nordiques.
And I will give credit. Drager, he's on top of his roster as far as people missing. Because I know 2 weeks ago, he was asking Pfister right after the game to sub for this coming week. And I saw him going to, I think it was to Pellet already to
Pellets. He's such a
to
fuck.
fill in for a sub already. So he's trying to grab those guys as soon as possible to make sure that if he knows guys are out, he's going to at least get the best option possible.
See, the thing with Pfister, everybody's got to realize you got to have somebody to play with him that's quick.
Of course.
He's like Sugar or Shawnee. You have someone to move the puck with him, and
Pfister finishes. He's not going to necessarily be the one that carries the play. He's going to finish. If you can get that puck in that zone and put it on Pfister's stick, 9 times out of 10 the puck's going in, or is going to be a great
but
assist.
also he's, I think, in my opinion, the best 2-way forward in this league.
Oh, now you're just pissing me off.
Hands, no,
Now you're just
his
pissing
back
me
check,
off.
his back checking. Oh my God!
Fast skater.
I haven't played with him enough to make that call. He's not on
so
my,
many
in top
goals
of
for
my
me.
head.
Matt Taylor had a wide open net 1 week, and fucking last second he comes, lifts the stick. I mean, he as hard as he tries in the offensive zone, he tries double as hard in the defensive zone.
Now you're just pissing me off, Dylan.
Haven't played with you yet, Pete. Haven't played with you yet, buddy.
So that's really all I have for tonight. Does anybody have anything else they want to bring up real quick?
I want to bring up the game that I'm most excited about.
What's that?
Ego, right? If we're going to talk ego,
Yeah.
the one I'm curious about is the Tigers and the Seals. Because
Okay.
I want the Seals to lose to get us closer to that number 1 spot for the North Stars. But I'm going with you as far as realistically, it's the Nordique game. Will they put it together? Will they pull some points and just shut the door? I mean, that's it.
I know I'm going to say no and pick them at least. So, yeah. What about Hetes? Do you have anything else?
Dylan Bain, baby.
No.
I gotta put. Next week should be fun.
Yeah,
Put up
it's
or
gonna
shut up. Put
it's
up or
gonna
shut
be
up.
a great game. It's gonna be fun.
I gotta put up or shut up. It's Dylan Bain
Yeah,
next week.
so it's gonna be
If we lose you next week, we might as well just fucking take the rest of the season off and be healthy for the playoffs. Just being honest, it don't matter.
that's fucked up.
Because I mean, we got a playoff spot no matter what. Facts.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the last question that you kind of brought up is how much is that 3rd spot important when you think you're going to be playing the, let's just say the Deeks or the Ducks first playing
The
Whalers? Like
having
that's
the
a spot
bye-
you kind of want to
everybody's
ensure
Having
you
the
have.
bye,
Everybody's
having the
dangerous.
bye matters, and like I guess having the 3rd spot does matter because you can play the Deeks or you can play the Mighty Ducks at the bottom, right? But if you if you want to end up in the 4th or 5th spot, like if it's us or the Whalers in the 4th or 5th spot, or like the Americans or the Whalers 4th or 5th spot, like no one wants to be. No offense to Whalers, but no one wants to be in the 4th or 5th spot because those 4th and 5th teams aren't there because they're bad teams necessarily. It's just because they didn't spike at the right time, the wrong time, or they're a game away or a Ben McCauley call from not fucking getting an extra point.
Leave Ben out of it. He made the great call.
I really think that any team, especially that's one of the most important things with the bye is the bye. When you get your first playoff series, it's a 3-game series. With with a 1-game series,
Jesus,
it
don't
makes it
even
more
start,
likely
yeah.
anybody can beat anybody.
But also, we're coming in cold.
Yeah, listen,
That's-
all I know from experience, man. I've unfortunately for 4 years now, I've been on the wrong side of every damn playoff series. Between Troy and his dessert swarm that he was trying to throw on me last year and the year before with the Ducks, the disappointment with the Ducks twice, and then the first year with the North Stars. Because I think the first year with the North Stars, we played the Whalers, first series, and and that's what Troy likes always like needle me about. That Pete had the game on his stick and he couldn't score in the breakaway against J-Flow, I think it was. I keep telling him to fuck off. You guys put more than one goal in, and we don't have to worry about it.
And that was the funny thing
Breakaways,
was
goalies have the other.
Yeah,
hand.
but still, it's
Maybe
you
I'm
know
6'5".
you don't want to any series is dangerous. I
Yes.
mean, you don't want to those 1-game series. I can't stress enough. You don't want those. I mean, I'd
No.
rather have a 3-game series. You want to at least, and you don't want to be coming in cold either. It's tough, man. Every
Yeah,
one
I'd
of
rather
these teams
have
are
3-game
dangerous when we
series
get into the
coming
playoffs.
cold than-
I don't know. No one real. The coldness factor for me really doesn't matter all that much Monday nights because anyone that's like your top, your top 5, 6, 7 rounds and up, those guys are all playing multiple times a week. So I mean, even if you miss a Monday, you're still playing on your other leagues. So for me, I mean, the coldness. It's more so that you're just guaranteeing that you're getting to a 3-game series because like you just said, a one and done, anything can happen.
Yeah,
One game.
and that's usually what does happen. That's exactly what happens. One and dones, and then that's the game where you forget to get your skate sharpened. You have a bad nick in your skate. You break a stick. You make a stupid play, and then that's it. Lights out.
But with MNL, I think the biggest thing is camaraderie because you have such good players and you have such kind of lower level players. Can you bring the confidence of the lower level players up?
So we got Troy, man. He's our cheerleader. He's our motivator.
so. Once again, remember, give us a call on the Whoop line.
Wait, real quick.
You can never end.
No, end it.
Yeah, we got to get Hetes to his hockey game. So give us a call on the
I mean,
Whoop
I can
line.
leave. You guys can all talk and circle
I'm
jerk.
muting.
I'll leave at 10.
714-75 Whoop. Email the show at podcast@mnlhl.com. But for everybody else, we are over.
And good luck, Hetes.